Alright folks, another day, another disaster save, and this one's not looking too hot for Yugoslavia. Not looking too hot at all. So this one was sent in by fellow content creator Pigeon. Let's see just what's going on, shall we? I already hate it.
We're gonna crash!
Leela, save me! And yourself, I guess! And my banjo! And Fry!
So, a little bit of context here. He started this out as fascist Yugoslavia, joined the Axis, helped Germany conquer all, and then turned on them. He also said that's where everything went wrong. He underestimated the German Air Force and is getting shredded by CAS. To add on to that, there is a slight problem with his puppet. Yes, Ion Antonescu is playing both sides here. He is our puppet, but he's giving military access to our enemy Germany, and the result of that was that this entire flank here collapsed because somehow Germany got troops into Bulgaria. They managed to either through a bug attack out of Yugoslavia into an unoccupied tile here, or there was a tile that was not occupied yet. I don't know, he doesn't really elaborate, but the end result is that an extra front has formed and it's all gone tits up. As you can see, the army organization is just horrendous because he was trying to play fire brigade. The enemy's everywhere, it's all awful, help. To add to that, there is, well, let's just go left to right here. So there's a front here in the UK. This is a small UK puppet. It's not great, and the Germans have made a landing there. We'll need to deal with this. Yeah. Terrible. There is a Yugoslavian France here. I don't know why you did this, but yeah, these troops are stuck because I can't get them out. Vichy France is unwilling to give us military access, and I can't do anything to change their minds. Kind of annoying. And then we have an Italian puppet. This is probably the main strength we have, is that this Italian puppet is providing us with a bunch of military factories and units. Either way though, it's not looking too hot because half that puppet's occupied. More than half. And then there's of course the home situation we just touched on. So what are we going to do? Well, let's take a look at the focus tree. So you're going for air production. If your plan is to outproduce Germany, we're past that point. I'm instead going to modernize your air force and work your way down to Icarus so we can get some better designers, couple of extra, research bonuses. Other than that, most of the stuff is done, so there's nothing great here. Local militias is actually... Wait a minute. Let's cancel modernizing the Air Force. I'm going to grab local militias for additional 2% manpower because we're almost mobilized out here. So we have 2% more to mobilize. Well, 1.5. Yes, we're going to grab local militias, then attract foreign capital, and then we'll work our way down to Icarus, get better airplanes. Politics, service by requirement. Yeah, I hate all of this, but I understand why it is the way it is. Nothing immediately obvious, maybe desperate defense. Construction. So we're trying to build some bunkers up there. Okay, I don't prefer bunkers. Let's instead move this up. So we need oil. Well, we can get most of Romania's oil, so oil is not a big deal. But we need rubber, and this is going to be our only source of rubber. So construction, let's build those, maybe finish up a couple of these bunkers, and then get the synthetic refineries built for rubber. Production. Okay, so you're going big on anti-air. Love it. I just wish it wasn't 1943 and you were making towed anti-air 1. Let's downsize and put it elsewhere. Tanks, good. Mechanized, it's okay. Improved small airframes. All right, so 60 on airplanes. Now, I do wonder what you're building. Look, Pigeon, my boy, I know you know this game. Okay, so I'm not a big fan of your fighter design. It's all right, but it's very expensive for what it does. I would prefer to just slap 3 heavy machine guns on here. It might do a little less air attack, yes, but it would be significantly cheaper. So you'd have more airplanes, resulting in more air attack. That said, though, you don't have them researched, so we'll have to leave these for now. We'll just make these, but not that many. We don't have the rubber for it anyway. Your basic medium flame tanks, yeah. Trucks, yeah. You don't need 2 basic medium flame tanks, so let's just get rid of those. Infantry equipment, yeah. Support equipment, yeah. and artillery. Yep. So we're lacking steel. Big time. Okay, that's a problem. And then navy, you're just making convoys, I guess. Yeah. No real other options for now. Officer corps, you've gone superior firepower, but you've gone air-land battle. This one's not that great. This is wonderful if you're able to capitalize on an air superiority, but it's focusing too much on hard attack. So 10% hard attack, not great against the AI. The soft attack here is great, but the extra hard attack is and it's just for tanks and armor. So tactical controls, fine. And then air-land battle, it's not really that great. This helps you shoot down enemy airplanes, sure, and the org is nice, but I prefer shock and awe with soft attack. Wonderful. More reinforcement rate is like, maybe. More soft attack recovery. In short, I prefer shock and awe. Airland battle's not terrible. I will probably switch out. I'm also going to pick up mountaineers eventually because we're fighting in very mountainous terrain for the most part. So eventually this is going to pay for itself so we can get some elite mountaineers to make our moves. Air doctrine, operational integrity is all right, I guess. I'm not really sure which is the best doctrine, honestly. And then navy doesn't matter right now. Okay. For the UK, I think I'm going to requisition their troops and see if I can whip them into some shape, because leaving this to the AI is not necessarily conducive to great results. Most of these units are terrible designs and just lacking equipment. So they've got medium tank divisions that probably don't actually have armor in them. Current fighting strength, 30%. So I'll make an Italy theater where our main goal will be to quickly knock out Mussolini. Just give him a big ol' what for. So then organize these forces in a somewhat sensible manner. One general over there, and he can command the defense. They're gonna need a lot of defending over here. That leaves us with another general with about 11 troops, and they're our own design, so they're our own forces. Okay, I'll move them here. We'll use them as the battering ram to take out the Italians. There are 2 armor divisions there. I hope to use them to really humiliate Mussolini. So, for Italy, nothing on the Vichy border until it becomes risky. I know it's going to become risky because at some point the Americans will justify and declare war. Pétain's gonna join the Axis and I'll have to watch this flank. Knowing that, I need to take out Mussolini quickly. I'll use 24 of Italy's divisions along with a selection of our own forces, these 11 units, and we'll try to quickly push south, capitulate the Italians, set up our defenses here, set up a defensive line in the Alps near Torino, and of course not forgetting about the defenses near Innsbruck. That's going to be very important as well. Once that's done, I can see what options I have to either push out from this front near Slovenia or to ferry troops across from Brindisi or Bari into Durrës or Podgorica to reinforce the main front. Now, speaking of the main front, this is going to suck. This is going to suck horribly because everything is out of position. This is horribly out of position, disorganized, and messy. Got a billion different generals. So first off, there's a problem with Romania. Namely, they give military access to Germany. And that results in these weird little battles being fought in Germany. In Romania. It kind of sucks. So what I'm going to do is return all of Romania's forces to them. What that will allow me to do is they will stop these fights. That's fine. And hopefully I can reorganize the divisions. Let's launch a slight counterattack here. Attack there. You move there. We'll just shuffle troops along the front line here. You attack there. You go there. You attack there as well. So we're going to try to secure Belgrade a little. We're going to push back. This is going to be a mess. Half forces falling back into these defensive positions. I don't know how to describe this other than this is horrible. This is just utterly and completely horrible, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate it so very much. You have too many forces in Italy, which you just have too many divisions in Italy proper. You're gonna get as many of these Yeah, as many of these as we can. I'll organize this off screen, but in general, I'm just gonna try and make a line through the mountains in Podgorica all the way up here to the river. We're gonna try to push here with our tanks and just sit on this river line until the Romanian border, and then try to fill out the Bulgarian front as much as we can. This is an issue. I cannot effectively deal with this. I just can't. I don't know what to do here, other than maybe give up Thessaloniki. This is a core, yes, but honestly, what am I getting out of it if it's costing me this much to contest it? I don't know. It looks disgusting. I realize that, but it's the best I can do, I think. Most important, don't lose Belgrade. If we lose Belgrade, we capitulate because we're already well on our way to losing. Yeah, if we lose Belgrade, we capitulate. It's simple as that. Secondly, if we lose Montenegro, we lose access to all of our tungsten and aluminium, and we won't even be able to produce what little equipment we still can. So make sure to get into the mountains and dig in and hold. Spies. I have spies. I'm gonna deploy spies in the general area around us, mostly to deprive the enemy of their planning bonus as much as we can. I think that's the best I can hope for. I have way too few divisions at home, though. Like, way too few divisions, and I really don't like it. Oh, I really don't like it. Oh, really don't like it. These British divisions, what are they doing? Not much. That leaves us with the Air Force. They're currently fighting over the Balkans, and you think, yeah, that's where you want to be fighting. Maybe, but I'm gonna go all in on Italy. Air superiority over Italy. Italy has to die quickly. That frees up so many divisions and gives us more options. So that's what I'm gonna do. This guy could use a little bit of defensive doctrine or charismatic. Division recovery rate is great. Defensive doctrine's nice if the enemy gives you time to entrench. I'm gonna go with charismatic first. Okay, rest of my command power I'm gonna save up for last stands. We've got bold attack, which is okay. Yeah, it's actually what I prefer. Professional officer corps is good. I might switch out to quick improv just because this gives us very cheap last stand memory. And then you go on flexible org. I like flexible organization. We'll be using a lot of shuffling around, so this is good. Troops are faster and they lose less organization when moving. Nice. Smoke and fire is good when you start counterattack, extra breakthrough. Static warfare is nice if you have the time to get your entrenchment up. We don't. We'll constantly be under attack, so I don't think it's going to pay off for us. We got a navy. It's all terrible. Well, terrible. It's all stolen ships. Not great. I'm not gonna access that sea zone. What I'm gonna do is reorganize. So I'm gonna put everything into a big strike force except for a couple of batches of destroyers, and we'll use the destroyers to patrol and try and fight enemy fleets. On to research. So fuel refining, we don't like. I'm gonna get this eventually, but not yet. We have plenty of fuel because I have Romanian oil, so this is not something I want right now. Excavation could be nice because it gives us more of our limited resources. Do we have any steel? We barely have anything. Realistically, it would help. This is all good. This is not all good. This can wait. Armor. You might want basic armor protection for your tanks to get them a little bit more armor, I think. Infantry equipment, fine. Mechanized. I like mech, but we have other priorities, namely getting those heavy machine guns onto my airplanes. Advanced small airframes, very nice to go ahead of time. However, this is useless without the engines also being there. So let's get the better engine. I'm not even able to produce enough airplanes, honestly. Maybe let's go on the AA front first. And then improved oil, same thing as with the fuel refining. We're gonna get it, but not yet. Maybe the engines, but I'm not making enough stuff to really warrant the investment. What I also want is this sonar, because all of our stuff, all of our trade is being convoy rated into oblivion. And if I can start outfitting a couple of destroyers with sonar and depth charges, I can at least start to limit the amount of damage the German submarines can do. Kind of want to get this, but I also want the artillery. I'll wait with the basic armor protection. We'll use the tanks as they are. Get the artillery first. Yeah. Speaking of the tanks, let's look at your design. Now that's the flame tank. That's probably fine. Let's upgrade that a little. Your advanced medium tank chassis. So it's okay. It's definitely not terrible. A little low in the armor department though. It's really cheap. Love it. But I'd like to add a little bit more armor to it so it won't be pierced as easily. And I know sloped armor is not ideal, but this is not all that more expensive and has a lot more armor. I think this will make it easier for these tanks to perform. You've got improved howitzers. You've got a 2-man turret. I'm going to add a 3-man turret instead. Extra breakthrough. Speed isn't that big of a deal. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this instead. More armor, slightly less soft attack, but still decent. And later on, we'll switch out to the improved medium cannon. We're gonna unpause here, and we're gonna try and organize a sensible defense. God, I gotta need to slow this way down and see how we're gonna do this. So I need to organize this defense properly. Everybody get to your defensive positions in one hell of a hurry. Now, in a perfect world, German AI does a weird thing and withdraws from this, but we don't live in a perfect world. We live in a messed up world. I think I'll be able to hold these defenses somewhat. I just hope I can get these boys deployed quickly. I forgot to check out templates. So infantry, fine. I'm gonna downsize to 18 width, both to conserve manpower and to conserve equipment. Plus 18 width is something I prefer. Either I make them 18 width like this, or I add in artillery and bring up to 21. Though it's not that vital. Besides, I think this just looks nicer. a nice square. Your armor is all right, but you've gone motorized anti-air. Just remove that down to 30 width. This is fine. I am going to remove the maintenance companies. While I like them, I don't think we have the luxury to use them right now. We're a little bit constrained when it comes to support equipment. Yeah, we have a bit of a support equipment issue, so I'm going to remove those and downsize the divisions a little bit. This is fine though. It's got good org, it's got good stats, it should hold reasonably well. All right, now we'll start the attack here. Massive assault on the Italian positions, force a breach. Yeah, at least we're getting green air over Italy. That will allow us to push through here more quickly. And I'm gonna use a little bit of cheese here. I'm gonna assign these 2 divisions to that small army. Then I'm gonna unassign everything except those 2 divisions from that small army. I know it's super cheesy, so then I do this. And that leaves these 2 units here as the only units under this general. What I then do is click last stand for really cheap. Having done that, I take these units, assign them back to that order. They get the symbol for last stand, but they don't actually get the effect, so that's unfortunate. But these guys will retain the last stand order, even if I now assign them back to their original leaders. So they are still last standing and buying me very precious time. And we have secured the river position. Okay, just gonna quickly redraw the front lines so they make a little more sense, like so. Okay, one more nuisance I want to deal with is you can see Germany constantly shuffling troops through there. I'm going to go back and request those Romanian forces. I know what they're gonna do, which is nothing useful. What I can do though is like set them up over here. I have only 6, so if they deploy a 7th, I'll put one there as well. And what that's going to do is the Germans are then going to walk into those units whenever they wander about Romania. And they're going to be wandering in Romania, usually under strength, or at least doing strategic redeployment stuff. As a result, they have very little org. What I can then do is fight them using these divisions. Delete the front lines because they're now no longer anything close to being sensible. One more nuisance with the current system. I really want to use just one big field marshal order, but I can't because of these Romanian tiles. So I have 2 split fronts, a northern front and a southern front, and it's so annoying to manage. But I have no alternatives. I have to do things this way. So I have to create 2 separate fallback lines. And just as I'm adjusting that, oh, it cancels the orders the units had. And now the cavalry is not going to arrive in Leskovac in time, I think. I hate it so much. All right, we'll be able to take a couple of tiles. Okay, we've taken Leskovac. And again, I have to readjust this front line. I hate having to do this. Italians in circle, love to see it. Good. At least we've recovered something here with southern Serbia. This front is a lot thinner now. Actually attack that German unit. It should be relatively weak, and they're still repositioning. So I'm gonna allow them to reposition, and I'm gonna try and take some of these tiles instead, if I can. This should all hold. And as far as Italy's concerned, Mussolini's army has been embarrassed. The armor is just very valuable. I'm gonna try and take Napoli finish the encircled units in the center and then keep driving south. We keep losing in the UK though. Yeah, the air is not to our advantage. We're losing the air war everywhere. Really unfortunate. But at least we're able to keep the convoys well escorted in this little sea zone here. So we should be able to get the Italian steel. Most of it at least. That's really all I can hope for. As for this front, I did make a slight mistake in extending the front too far by accident, and suddenly units started to leave and walk into Romania itself, and as a result these units are now constantly stuck in battle here. But this little Romanian cordon I've set up does seem to work nicely. It keeps the Germans from just railroading units into Bulgaria. They can still get through Constanta, I just don't have enough Romanian units to do it. But it's actually, if I sign you there like that, it does make for a very funny little cordon, because they don't see this as an attack move. They see this as strategic redeployment, and then they arrive with no org like these guys and then run into a hostile unit that's there and they don't expect. So at least this way I can effectively block them from trying to reinforce. Hopefully that's going to be sufficient. I did lose, and I'm not able to retake that mountain tile unless these guys get really weak. Let's give it a try. But it's starting to solidify somewhat, and as soon as I can get these guys force deployed, I will. And as far as Italy's going, yeah, we're humiliating Mussolini here. Well, with a little luck, we'll retake that mountain tile. Come on, and this guy should launch a pinning attack if I see anyone move in to reinforce it. Okay, rest of the front. Belgrade is under pressure. Get an armored unit in there ASAP. All right, we've retaken that stupid mountain tile. Buys us time, at least. All right, couple of units out. 5 for one flank, and then 5 for the other. It's better than nothing. I can't really afford to do more. I have a little bit of manpower left, but not that much, but I'll get more soon. Well, at least the fronts are holding more or less, even with the terrible troops I'm deploying to do it. So this is what the heavy machine guns do. I'm gonna remove a little bit of armor, otherwise the thrust doesn't line up. These are now substantially cheaper. They have a little less air defense, not that much. They have more air attack. So I think this is better design. Ideally, of course, I would add in the self-sealing fuel tanks, but I cannot afford the rubber expense. This would make them even better than the original design and still cheaper. But yeah, just so you know, heavy machine guns, just please get heavy machine guns. Still can't get a designer because I haven't done the right focus, but we'll start making these and hopefully we can start clawing back a little bit of the air war we're losing, because we're losing it hard. No way! No way! Are they letting us in? They're letting us in. The United Mexican States want us in the Allies? We're in! Oh, that's big, huge. Thank you, Vincente Lombardo. Thank you. Thank God. I got friends. Okay, now that we're in the Allies, everything is different. We're isolated. They can't get to us, but that will at least mean we're not making any additional enemies. Maybe they'll come in and reinforce my puppets up there. Let's, call these guys into the war as well. I had hoped to be able to push across this strait, but it's not happening, so we're gonna halt that for a little bit, see what they do. If they move troops off, I can see something happening there. Since we did beat them in everywhere else in Italy, I've decided to put this army on the front with Vichy France, because it's gonna happen. They are going to join the war, so that's gonna create an entire new front of pain and mayhem. The rest is still holding. That might be it for the Italian fleet. Our 2 battle fleets have met, and mine actually has screening, so maybe we can sink some of their battleships here, unless they can run away. The quicker I can deal with their fleets, the better, because I need that. Yes! Battleship gone. Another battleship, maybe. 2 battleships down. 3. Can we get 3? No, they got away. But yeah, the quicker I can deal with their navy, the better. Let's launch this naval invasion, see if it works out, and if I can capitulate the Italian faction. That will be a good start of things. All right, we've taken that port. Pinning attack there. Go there. Can we take that port? Getting intercepted was a risk. It was a risk we were aware of. All right, taking Palermo. Take the other port. You go there. You go there. Is that Italy out? It is Italy out! Oh, and that is another part of their destroyer fleet wiped out. Good. God, that's good. I'm gonna move these units, even though they're quite beat up. I'm gonna move them up north here, see if we can do some counterattacking. There are Americans arriving, so maybe the Americans are gonna come in here and help. Oh yeah, the Americans have started deploying fighters. The Allies are coming to our aid. Thanks. That's gonna help. Okay, maybe the island will survive now with American forces arriving. Oh, fingers crossed. What remains of my air is so beat up, I don't know what to do with it. Genuinely don't know what to do with it. Maybe try to shoot down some fighters over the sea zone, I guess. It's not much I can do with them. Like, the numbers are just not there. All right, let's get this offensive on the way. Let's push out from here, see if we can reclaim Istria. So we are capable of moving these units forward. Will it be enough to do anything? Because they got a lot of stuff here, and it may simply not be sufficient. If I can encircle the units near Istria, that would be nice, because then if I can cheese this, come on, cheese it. Cheese it, you bastards. Reinforce meme them. I can then encircle the troops around Istria. You push south. Let's retake Istria, if we can. If not, And every time I look away for a second, battle somewhere goes horribly wrong, and I get to move heaven and earth trying to undo the damage. Oh, my head hurts. I don't want to do this anymore. Pigeon, why? Why? Someone help me. Help me. I don't know what to do. The US declared war on Vichy. Vichy instantly joins the Axis. They're going to open up another front. And the US hasn't even positioned troops to deal with any of this. It's all going tits up. I'm losing ground and I'm unable to push anywhere. The air advantage is it's too much. Like, look at the some of these battles just look at the damage we're taking in the air. It's just stupid. It's beyond stupid. One bright spot in all this existential horror is that I have been able to retake Istria. I hope this is something that lasts and doesn't immediately result in my death afterwards. I have been able to retake the position around Istria. I can't get them to give me the territory, so be it. I'll try to take other positions back. It is giving me a little manpower. If I've taken Ljubljana, gave me a little bit of manpower. I hope to be able to eventually link up with the main front again. Yeah, and Vichy is now in, so I have no use. I can't use these units. Everything is terrible and I'm not having fun. And through means I don't entirely understand, apparently I now control the Abu Dhabi oil fields. Sure, I'll take it. Oh, I can assume leadership of the Allies. That's one advantage. The AI doesn't do this on its own, because the US could have done that ages ago. And Mexico is really, really weak. Now, if I take over the faction, they can't kick me. Congratulations. I am now in charge of the Allies. I have managed to take a couple of tiles here. So if things go slightly my way here, I might be able to take, maybe not Dalmatia, because that's a really long way down, but I might be able to fight in the north here a little bit. I am at some point going to need to consider either an invasion of Egypt to secure that, or dedicated marine assault on Gibraltar. I absolutely need to take, or should I say, open up the Mediterranean. Yeah, I would love to be able to take Gibraltar. That would allow the US Navy into the Mediterranean and US troops to flood in. I desperately want some help. Now, this cordon here that I've set up in Romania is starting to actually do something useful. Like, all these German troops are effectively stuck now, unless they go, they could go through Sevastopol, but it's going to be much harder for them to continuously reinforce the areas. That's nice. At least we'll take Gibraltar. Yay, we've taken Gibraltar. Okay, remove those units. That's great. Fantastic. That opens up the Mediterranean, and hopefully the Americans are going to be willing to send troops in, because I need a friend. I need a friend to come and help me out. I've overextended myself somewhat here with these attacks. May not have been the best idea I've had. I've mostly been trying to get my territory back. I'm desperate. I admit I am quite desperate to get my territory back here. I need to take Zagreb to take Croatia, which is a very unfortunate position because it's indefensible. And I need to take Split to take, I don't know, Dubrovnik or Split. Probably both, either or. Yeah, it's gonna be not amazing. I'm gonna have to save up political power and go up the service bar requirement. I don't want to, though. I really don't want to. And we're about to lose the UK. There's just nothing I can do about it. No idea how I'm supposed to win on that front. The AI pumps out unit after unit of despicable garbage, and it's just not. It doesn't work. It's not. It doesn't work, okay? Good news is that there's a tide of American forces flowing in now that we opened up Gibraltar. The Americans have just managed to get themselves invaded by Japan. So, yeah. This is, yeah, fantastic. We'll just hold and see if the Americans can pour some strength in here. Help me out, because I'm gonna need it. I'm gonna make a big gamble here. I'm going to try a tank shock maneuver through this tile next to Belgrade. At the same time, I've concentrated my remaining 2 tanks, and we're gonna try to meet around here. I'm going to try and push along that river, cut off the Balkan section of the German front. They shouldn't be able to get anything in via sea. I can put my subs out to ensure that, and we're gonna try and crush that. Meanwhile, American troops are arriving, and my front is getting bolstered, so I feel up to it. This may well bite me in the ass after, but I think we're up to it soon. Put these guys out on convoy rating as well. Convoy rating that sea zone. Engage at high risk. And we're just gonna go for it. It is incredibly risky. It's incredibly risky, but I have to try something. Otherwise, we fail anyway. This feels like breakthrough potential. Maybe. Go, 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 go. Come on, come on, come on. You hold. Come on, come on, come on. Do it, do it, do it, do it. Yes! Oh, I've linked up. Okay, now I'm gonna use these here to try and drive the Germans into the water. I know that's not optimal, but if you guys do this, I will rename these men after channel members. I know I'm supposed to do that way sooner, but I've been somewhat busy. Last couple of tiles now. Last couple of tiles. As long as nothing stupid happens, we'll be in a much better place and I can actually start the fight back. I'll then solidify the north as much as possible and use the tanks to take out Bulgaria. High risk, high reward. And that is split taken as well. A little bit of manpower returned to us. Okay, so, oof. Good God, that's the rest of the Italian Navy, and we did get at least a couple of their divisions in convoy rating, so we sunk some stuff. That's good. Okay, maintain a good front now on the north. No attacks here yet. I might try to hop to the next river line if there's an opportunity, but I'm not gonna be aggressive about it at all. It's just too risky. I'm gonna use my tanks, and I'm gonna try to mop up Bulgaria next. Now we can now produce better fighters, though not sure if we'll ever get around to it. Biggest engine I can fit, biggest amount of heavy machine guns until I have cannon 2s. That'll do. We'll drop tanks. Drop tanks will be fine. And armor plates. Not perfect, but it will suffice. So far, so good. We've got them on the run here. Keep boxing them in. Keep boxing them in. Air war is not necessarily going perfectly well here, but we're not up against that much of the enemy air force, so it helps. Okay, now this entire southern section is not really cut off. They got Thessaloniki still. Let's get the submarines out there convoy rating here. So Germany has unfairly managed to withdraw a couple of its units. So be it. It's not the end of the world. Quickly mop that up and then everything to the main line and we'll see from there. I might be better off trying to take out Vichy France first than trying to push up through Germany's guts. But with the American forces here, it's just a matter of time now. 12 divisions trapped. Okay, and we're sitting on that lovely river line. Oh, that's good. Look at him go. Look at him go. Ah, we're up to 700,000 casualties, but we have hurt the Germans so badly now. Oh, yes. Yes, 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 yes. The Imro is going to be destroyed. I'll get a couple of cores back, notably on Macedonia, Thrace, and Central Macedonia. But Central Macedonia already was a core, so a little bit more extra manpower is going to be welcome. And then I'm going to start my offensive. Finish the reorganization. I'm going to go with a Mountaineer assault through the mountains towards Lyon. These guys have very limited supplies, so I should be able to push and then keep driving towards Lyon. I'm thinking either a tank rush into Nice. I don't think it's going to work because I've got these tanks just stacked into a big pile. That's definitely not optimal. Either a tank rush. Failing that, I'll divert Mountaineers here to encircle Nice from the north and then push the tanks through that way. Extra divisions are welcome, and I'm going to slowly wean myself off Italian troops. They can go elsewhere. Italy can do with them what they want. I know that it's ideal ideal for them to take casualties, so I don't have to take casualties, but I don't want that puppet contributing too much. They're already a bit uppity. Oh, tanks are just smashing through. Oh, baby. They're reinforcing, but they're not reinforcing. Oops, that's stupid. That was weird. Okay. They're not reinforcing nearly fast enough, so my tanks should be able to bust right out. And then we're going to spread out behind. Take Toulon, take Marseille, and go from there. These guys are on their way to Lyon already. Pigeon, I love you for these armor divisions you've given me. We've got a lot of Americans following behind in our footsteps. That is going to help us tremendously, because I don't have the forces to do all of this myself. Fortunately, I don't have to, because there's so many Americans here now, but they're a little slow on the uptake. So, all right, go. I could rush to the Spanish border so I could trade with Spain, or I could rush up to Lyon, try to complete some sort of big encirclement of the Alpine line. That's probably the best bet I can, probably the best bet is to go for an encirclement of the, oh, baby, we're gonna do it. We're gonna make some sort of stupid encirclement here, and we're gonna encircle this Alpine front. All right, you just keep driving if they're gonna be like that. Just keep driving. This entire central mass has been encircled. Oh, baby. Oh, yes. I can now give control of state, and they can have Marseille. And now we transfer our course to them, and the Mountaineers can start cleaning up here. This is actually going very well, and American troops are actually finally redeploying as well. All right, if I can clean up the south of France, set up a solid front line in the north, and then I can stage an offensive from there. I'm gonna train additional infantry because I'm gonna need more troops for that push. Oh, Germany's taking hits here. Massive German casualties. They must be at their limit here. What is this? 7.8, almost 8 million casualties. We've done the majority. Now, the Americans have been very helpful. So the moment the Americans flooded in with troops, the whole tide turned. I am very grateful to Roosevelt for that. It took him long enough, though. And am I glad Mexico decided to invite us to the Allies? Am I glad that I was able to take over the Allies? I fully expect if the UK or the Americans were in charge, I would not have, for one, been able to take over. Well, maybe the UK. But if the Americans were in charge, I would not be able to take over. And I'm pretty sure as a result, I would just constantly get kicked and then re-invited and then kicked again. It would mess this whole thing up. Oh, look at how many divisions we've got trapped here. Oh, look at that. 298,000 losses in Brest. We also got Paris, and our French puppet should be looking a lot tougher now. They got 1 million manpower available. I could just use French manpower from this point forward and not have to worry too much, I think. Yeah, they're not nearly as independent as Italy. I could just sub in some French manpower for my units if I wanted to. If I get manpower issues, I'll do that. Another massive loss for Germany. All right, fellas, real talk and a bit of an apology as well. Somewhere between my finalization of the conquest of France and knocking out the Belgians and the eventual peace deal, I either hit the wrong button, or I don't know, probably because I'm just stupid and I forgot to hit record or accidentally bumped the record button again, turning it back off. Long story short, the footage is gone because there is no footage. You didn't really miss all that much. It was just a tank push in northern Germany, then a tank push from northern Germany to the Swiss border, cutting off the western front of the Germans. At the same time, I pulled in all my puppets really to just maximize the pressure on all those German front lines, and it was just tanks driving towards Berlin and Germany capped because Pigeon had already sorted out one collaboration government. Sorry for that mix-up. I apologize. I'll try to be a little more attentive. You know, professional YouTuber, people. Professional YouTuber. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.